Welcome to the Online Marketing Institute. You're now watching a free preview of an OMI e-learning center class.
Pinterest is new and exciting, so brands are clamoring to grab up their usernames and start pinning it up. While quick adoption is always good, pinning without a purpose could be a perfect waste of time. We're going to walk you through a Pinterest game plan which will help you understand how to properly add pins, optimize your pins for searches on Pinterest and in search engines, and know the ins and outs of the site so you can connect with its quickly growing user base. It's really easy to log in and start tossing up a flood of pins, but it's a much better idea to charge in with a game plan first. Ask yourself a quick question. What am I going to pin? If you struggle to find the answer, why don't we start with a little research first? Use Pinterest's search bar to search a few of the top keywords and interests for your brand. For example, if you're an organic clothing store, try a general search for organic fashion. Some of the most popular pins, the ones with the most likes, comments, and repins, feature beautiful photography of rings, jewelry, and other accessories. Many of the popular pins also contain elements of natural materials like wood and leaves. These are some pretty good ideas for your first pins. You can also use a tool like repinly.com to find some of the top pins, boards, and pinners. Let's look at some of the top pins in women's apparel. It looks like some of the most popular pins are outfit collages. This is something really easy to throw together in Photoshop. So now you have a great idea to start pinning. While it would be very easy to simply repin some of these popular pins, it'll be much more beneficial to you if you work in some original content. Luckily, we've done our research and we have a great idea for our Pinterest account. Let's put together several collages of organic clothes and accessories that have that natural wooden leaves look. This should be pretty good content for our Pinterest account. Before you officially launch your Pinterest presence, remember to follow these key steps to help you decide what to pin. First, do some research. Use the Pinterest search bar and tools like Repinly to learn about your audience on Pinterest. Second, study the popular pins. Which get the most likes, comments, and repins? These are good clues as you begin to create content. Third, use what you learned when adding pins. If you want your Pinterest account to gain any influence, you'll have to have a good understanding of what is popular on Pinterest. If you aren't posting any popular pins, you'll be missing the point. Last, be warned. You need to create some original content on Pinterest, or at least reuse some of your existing popular content from your site. So you've done your research, and you have some great ideas of what kind of pins have the best chance to make an impact. Now that we're ready to start pinning, let's make sure you understand the best ways to add pins, so that they'll appear in search results and encourage other folks to repin. Just to remind you, you want to tie in some original content into your pinning repertoire because those pins can drive traffic back to your website. The first step to creating a pin which will drive traffic back to your site is to place the pin somewhere on your site. Since we already know the Pinterest plan for our organic clothing store is to create outfit collages, we can begin. Take the collage image we made out of items from the clothing store. Create a quick blog post and upload the image. Make sure your blog post title, blog post URL, and image file name use good keyword phrases, because this will make them more friendly for search results on Pinterest and in search engines. With your blog post published, you can now head back to Pinterest and add your pin. Click Add, then add a pin. Now enter the URL of your new blog post, and it will automatically pull up the image. Next, you can fill out the description for your pin. While you can use up to 500 characters, we recommend you only use a sentence or two to describe your pin. Keep it short and sweet, and remember to use some good keywords. As people see your amazing outfit collage and repin it, they will also be repinning a link back to your blog post, which can help drive people to your website from Pinterest. Good job. Here are 4 tips to help you optimize your pins to reach a larger audience and direct traffic to your website. Pin custom content some of the time. Repinning is an important part of Pinterest, but ideally you want those repins to be traced back to you. Give the image file names a targeted keyword phrase. This will help them appear in search results more often. Post your custom images on your website or blog, or add your website URL to uploaded pins. This is an opportunity to drive more traffic. Pinterest descriptions can be up to 500 characters long, but we don't recommend you use all that space. Keep your description short and sweet, and again, use some of your main keywords. As you continue to use and build your account, it's a good idea to organize your pins into boards. Boards are usually centered around a single topic and contain dozens, even hundreds of pins on that topic. We have a few tips to help you create great boards primed for pinners to browse. To create a board, click Add, then click Create New Board. Remember to use good keywords in the titles of your boards. This will help them appear in search results more often, so more people will have a chance to browse your boards. When adding pins, a list of your boards will appear. To add pins to your new board, simply select the board while you add a new pin. Second, you should use enticing photos for the photo covers on your boards. To change your cover, simply head to your profile and hover over your board. A button will appear which will let you choose a new board cover from one of the pins in your board. You can easily organize the boards on your profile to keep things nice and tidy. Third, you want to create a big variety of boards. You should have several boards that represent some aspect of your brand. Using our organic clothing store example, you should create boards focused on healthy living, organic inspiration, or natural fashion. If you know your target is made up of mostly moms, you could try an organic kids board to appeal to them. These categories are broad enough to fill up with fun pins, but they also say something about the brand in a way that people can connect. Lastly, get creative. Create a board that's funny, whimsical, or just plain different. Here at Room 214, we chose to create a board called Business Time to showcase the lighter side of our agency. Remember to use these 4 tips as you create boards for your Pinterest account. First, use enticing photos for photo covers on your boards. To change your cover, simply head to your profile, hover over the board, and a button will appear which will let you choose a board cover. Second, create a big variety of boards. You should have several boards that highlight a different aspect of your brand. Third, optimize your board names. Use good keywords in board titles so they will appear in search results on search engines and in Pinterest. Last, get creative. Come up with interesting themes for your boards to keep your followers entertained. Pinterest can eat up a good deal of time, mostly because it's so addicting. Luckily, Pinterest has built an easy way for several people to work on a single board at the same time. Collaborative boards are a great way to save time and include your employees, friends, blog readers, or even customers in on all the fun. To set one up, first click Add, then create a board. Come up with a fun theme for your collaborators to use, and change the options to say Me plus Collaborators. Then add a few people to help you populate your board with pins, and you're ready to go. Your process for making a collaborative board is: first, create a new board. 2, set your options to be collaborative. 3, add other Pinterest users by name or email to participate in the board. 4, let your team populate it. Pinterest is not a set and forget kind of community. The most active pinners, likers, and commenters will see much better results, not only on their pins, but on the traffic their original pins could be driving back to their website. If you want to build a strong following on Pinterest, follow a few of these tips. We recommend that you pin a few things every day. You can use the good old-fashioned 80-20 rule for pins from your own site versus repins and pins from other sources. This way, some content from your own web properties will be mixed in, but it won't be overwhelming or spammy. Interaction on Pinterest, as in all types of social media, is key. Get very familiar with the like and comment buttons. The more willing you are to show love for other users' content, the more willing they will be to do the same with yours. You can also use the @ symbol with Pinterest names to mention other users in comments and descriptions. Pinterest contests have also been popping up. Some companies like Threadless have posted contests to encourage people to pin items from their website. The concept behind the contest was simple. First, Threadless encouraged fans to make a board titled Threadless V-Day Challenge with a specific person in mind, and explain why that person is so great in the board's description. Then, users had to add 10 pins to that board, which would make great gifts for that special person, with at least 5 pins of Threadless products. Once the board was finished, you simply emailed a link to enter. Lastly, you should definitely utilize other web assets to promote your presence on Pinterest. Pinterest has follow buttons, pin this buttons, and all sorts of other goodies to drive people to your account. You can also connect your Facebook or Twitter accounts to Pinterest and automatically post links to your activity. However, be very careful not to overwhelm fans on other accounts with too much pinning. Remember to follow these tips to build your Pinterest account. Stay active. You should be pinning a few things every day to make sure your pins are showing up on your followers' streams. Interact. Likes and comments are more likely to come if you're dishing them out. So get familiar with every marketer's favorite buttons. Also, you can mention other Pinterest users with the @ symbol followed by their Pinterest handle. Create a board contest. Give folks a specific name for a board and ask them to create one using links from your website. Then they can email you a link to their board in hopes of winning. Tell the world about your Pinterest account. Pinterest has follow buttons, pin this buttons, and all sorts of other goodies to use in promoting your presence. In recent reports, Pinterest is sending more referral traffic than YouTube, LinkedIn, and Google Plus combined. Also, visitors referred by Pinterest often spend more time on your site, and the referrals can keep coming from a pin weeks longer than the life of a Facebook post or a tweet. Pinterest users are expressing themselves and telling the world about who they want to be. These are buyer personas that read directly into the wants, needs, and aspirations of your customers. Pinterest is not only about the customers, but what they are consuming. Pinterest users use the site as a reminder of things they want to do or buy. If your products aren't making it onto those lists, you're missing out on the party. From a broad perspective, if a page on your website is important to sales, you need to make it pinnable. To do this, you can follow a few easy steps. First, use high-quality, eye-catching photos. It might be time to hire that graphic designer or photographer you've been thinking about. Second, add a pin it button to content on your website. You can visit pinterest.com/about/goodies to easily find this code. Third, add a Pinvolve button to your company page on Facebook. Fourth, make sure users can pin your images. Talk to your web developers and make sure your website doesn't render images in Flash. Fifth, think about search engines. Use relevant keywords on the page, in the image file names, and in the image description text. Last, find out what content is already being pinned, and create more awesome content based on what you learned. Visit pinterest.com/source/your-domain. That will display a search result of all the pins coming from your domain. Once you've mastered everything that we've covered so far, you can dig into some of the subtle nuances that will really make your Pinterest account a winner. To get you started on your way to becoming a real Pinterest ninja, follow these steps. Videos can be pinned, but currently only YouTube videos can be played within Pinterest. Most of your typical e-commerce images are about 300 pixels wide, too small to be pinned. Pinterest doesn't limit the vertical size of images, but the maximum width is 554 pixels. Your images should look good at this size as well as full screen. Don't make your image more than 5,000 pixels tall. Since the like and repin buttons are at the top, people likely won't scroll back up to repin, like, or comment. Pinterest is all about being visual, so post beautiful images. Pin at the right times. Most Pinterest users are busy during the day at work. Be active in the morning before work, during the lunch hour, and in the evenings when most people are pinning. Now that you have all the knowledge to be a high-powered super pinner, it's time to let you into the world to pin for yourself. If you follow some of the tips and recommendations we've outlined for you in this video, your pins will be more effective and you will be better prepared to be an enjoyable brand to follow on Pinterest. You'll also be ready to appear in Pinterest results, search engine results, and drive traffic back to your website. Go forth and pin in peace.